Hello and welcome to Newman Gymnasium, where we have the visiting Vermont State Hornets here to play the Husson University Eagles. I'm Logan Martin, alongside Sam Miller and Xander Cook. Boys, we have an exciting matchup today, first with the girls game, second with the boys game, following at 6 p.m. What are some things we can look for in this matchup? You know, the visiting Vermont State Hornets coming into this game. What can they do to look to succeed and come away in this matchup with a win?
Well, starting out, Logan, you got to take care of the ball if you're the Hornets. They average around 21.2 turnovers per game as a team. And that's not going to get it done when you're playing a team like Husson who likes to get out in transition. They love to push the pace, and they love to play fast. So ball control is going to be huge for the Hornets today.
Just like Sam mentioned, Husson likes to full court press, half court trap. They like to apply pressure, create turnovers. Xander, how much of that can we expect in this matchup?
We're going to expect it a lot. Like you mentioned, Logan, Husson loves to use that full court press, and they use it right out of the gates. And when they do that, their opponents get overwhelmed very quickly, and that's when they start making critical mistakes right out of the gate. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that from these Eagles today.
We've seen a lot of it, just like Xander mentioned, a lot of it this year, a lot of pressure from this Eagles defense, a lot of forced turnovers, and a lot of exciting transition basketball so far this season. Who on the team for the Eagles can we expect to come up with these steals and these turnovers? Who's going to be applying the most pressure?
You got someone like Layla Martinez coming off the bench. She really is that spark plug that head coach Kissy Walker loves to bring in for a nice little energy boost. But expect a lot from center Jordan Lengel tonight as well. She's going to be having a tough matchup down low in the paint. She's going to have to guard number 34, Kiara Mack, on the Hornets, averaging 6.2 rebounds per game, one of their leading scorers. She is a 5-sport athlete at Lyndon. She can really do it all, an amazing athlete. So Lengel will have her hands full, but if anybody can get it done, it is her.
Yeah, this Lengel versus Mack matchup is going to be one intense battle between those two women. They both have the height advantage, with Mack coming in at 6 foot and Lengel going at 6'1". It's going to be incredible to witness.
The starting lineups for today's matchup, first with the Vermont State Hornets. We got Whitcomb, the guard, DeSorda, the guard, Huntington at guard, Sage Smith playing guard. And then we have Kiara Mack holding it down at forward. For the Eagles, we have Lauren Cook, senior guard, Lily Roy, a freshman guard, Jordan Lengel, a senior forward / center, Hannah Richards, a senior guard, and Sage Evans, a freshman forward. As we'll be right back after the national anthem with more basketball.
From Benson, Vermont, number 5, Captain Kerrigan DeSorda. A sophomore from Taylorsville, Utah, number 11, Ella Huntington. A senior from Groveland, New Hampshire, number 21, Captain Sage Smith. And a junior from Milton, Vermont, number 34, Kiara Lyndon is coached by Brendan Morton and assisted by Selena Porter and Nellie McDonald. And now, the starters for your Husson University Eagles. At guard, a senior from Charlotte, Maine, number 0, Lauren Cook. At guard, a freshman from Frenchville, Maine, number 1, Lily Roy. At forward, a senior from Concord, New Hampshire, number 15, Jordan Langel. At guard, a senior from Bradley, Maine, number 22, Hannah Richards. And at forward, a freshman from Greenbush, Maine, number 34, Sage Evans. The head coach for Husson in her 34th season is Kissy Walker. She's assisted by Randy Dodge, Lori Gott, and Steve Washington.
Welcome back to Newman Gymnasium. Welcome back to Newman Gymnasium. I'm Logan Martin, joined by Sam Miller and Xander Cook. Looking at these two starting lineups, two freshmen that stand out, and they're both on the Husson Eagles basketball squad. Lily Roy, the freshman, and Sage Evans, the freshman. What can these two freshmen gain in this experience starting in today's game?
I mean, well, they both are very versatile players, can shoot and play defense, which is really what you need in today's day and age of basketball. So being able to run the floor, play scrappy defense, and control the ball for your team and put up some good-looking shots is going to be crucial.
As we're underway with today's matchup, as we see Lauren Cook put up a shot on the right block. That goes up and out. Mack with the rebound. She pushes it up the left side of the court. Passes it ahead. And that's up and in. Sage Smith with the first 2 points of today's game. Husson quick to pass half court. Hannah Richards controls the rock. Lily Roy passes to Richards. Richards post touchdown to Lengel. She looks to find something, passes out to Lily Roy. Skip pass to Richards. Post entry to Evans. Her shot on the right block is good. Husson with a quick answer.
As we talked about during pregame, Logan, we're seeing it right there, that full court press and that trap that the Eagles like to run. We're going to see a lot of that throughout this game.
So exactly was what we saw right there is Sage Smith stepping out of bounds. Half her foot was out. That trap for Husson a little too much. The pressure has been very good this year by that full court press put on by Husson. It has caused a lot of problems for their opponents, as we see it early in this one too. 2-2 ball game. As Lily Roy puts up a mid-range shot. Goes off the left side of the rim, rebounded by Huntington. She'll push the pace for the Hornets. As Huntington sets up the offense on the right wing, the sophomore from Utah. As DeSorda kicks it out to Wickham. Wickham down to Mack. Post touch, she dribbles down as that one's deflected by Lengel. Lily Roy pushes the pace, pass out to Lauren Cook. She'll throw up a three. Good! Lauren Cook, first three of the game for both squads. The Eagles lead by 3.
Lauren Cook is a player that needs to get it going in this matchup. When she's on fire, that's when the rest of her team starts to light it up.
Lauren Cook, the three-point shooter for this Eagles ball club. They have a lot of them, but Lauren Cook, the one that's going to put up the most, as we see Mack struggle to control it down in the paint as Husson forces yet another turnover.
That's 2 straight possessions now with Lengel playing woman-to-woman defense on Mack. First, there was the block that led to the Cook 3, then a 3-second violation. Lengel so far playing very well, matched up against Mack.
As that's the matchup you guys talked about coming into this one. How will Mack and Lengel play out? As we see right there, good defense by Mack as Lengel shot on the left block is no good, a little too strong off the backboard as Lauren Cook comes across the court with a steal. She'll have it tipped away and Mack controls it again. A little back and forth action. Huntington will dribble it up across half court. Gets a screen from Mack. Huntington drives to the left side, kicks it back out to Wickham. Her three, in and out. Offensive rebound by Huntington. She'll put it back up, and that's good. Ella Huntington all over the place early in this one for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was all set up by the offensive rebound by Number 5, Kerrigan DeSorda, crashing the glass and setting up an extra opportunity for Huntington to put some points on the board.
That's a great backdoor pass by Lengel, just mishandled. As that'll be out of bounds, it'll be Hornets basketball. Ella Huntington, the youngest starter for this Hornets ball club, as we see Wickham passes up to Smith. Her layup is too strong. Rebounded by Richards.
And again, that was good defense from Jordan Langle in the post.
As Hannah Richards with a hezzy drive. Ella Huntington pokes that one away. Ella Huntington, like I mentioned, the youngest player starting for this Hornets ball club. She seems to be all over the place. What has impressed you so far about the way she moves around the court offensive and defensively?
I mean, she's just so quick to get to her spots. I mean, we saw that one play, Richards with a nice hesitation move, but Huntington just poked the ball away, slapped it out of bounds. And that's what she can give you on both sides of the floor, that really quick versatility that makes her such a unique and deadly player for the Hornets.
Like Sam said, she could just get to her spots in a hurry. When she gets an open look, she's going to take it. When she sees an open player, she's going to give her that opportunity.
Ella Huntington, the sophomore guard from Taylorsville, Utah, averaging 8.1 points per game, 4 assists per game, 6 rebounds. She also has 2 steals a game on the season. She has career highs of 20 points against Vermont Tech, 9 rebounds against St. Elizabeth, and 6 assists against New England College. She can really do it all for this Hornets squad. As you see, DeSorda handle the ball back to Huntington. Backdoor cut by Smith. Huntington just passes it a little bit too late, and that'll be out of bounds. Eagles basketball. So you see a good cut right there. Just a little too late. Held on to that basketball a little too long.
Both teams coming out, trying to play very fast, resulting in a couple balls flying out of bounds. So expect these teams to be a lot more controlled and a lot more patient as this game goes on.
As Hannah Richards with a great skip pass over to Roy. Back to Cook. Cook down to Lingle. Sage Evans, nice cut. Just didn't have good position, and that'll be no good. Hornets with the rebound. There'll be a foul on Richards. You could hear the slap from up there. She thinks she got all ball. She tries to poke that one away from behind. Good attempt, though. Hannah Richards, one of those players who can get a lot of steals. She's a great defender. She's also great offensively, really controls. She's really the court general for this Eagles squad. You see DeSorda dribble to the left side, hands off to Smith. Hezzy, drive by Ellington, and that'll be tipped. It'll be off Huntington, excuse me. That'll be Eagles basketball. Eagles already have forced so many turnovers in this game, and Sam, you mentioned before this game to me that the Hornets struggled to hold on to the basketball. What have you seen from them holding on to the ball?
So we're just going to give the Eagles a lot of credit. I mean, as Evans gets a nice turnaround jump shot, the Eagles have really been active all season. They love to fly around the court, no pun intended, and they're really active with their hands. So we're going to see that a lot as this game progresses. And so far in this game, as we mentioned during pregame, the Hornets not very good at taking care of the ball, around 21 turnovers per game. So the Eagles really just doing a good job of, as Xander mentioned earlier, getting to their spots and just beating the Hornets to the punch.
And I think head coach Brennan Morton wants a timeout after yet another turnover by the Hornets. As we can see in this game, already 6 turnovers in the first quarter by the Hornets. This Coach Morton played basketball at University of Maine Presque Isle, a basketball player himself. He averaged 20 points per game in high school. He tied a Rhode Island state record with 13 threes in a single game back in his high school days. As we can see all the way from up here, he's got the ball shoes on, he's got the Jordans on. He looks like he can come out on this court and give you 30.
Yeah, once a hooper, always a hooper. Those instincts will never leave you even once those days your playing days are over.
As we see the Hornets force a turnover this time, the Eagles throwing it away. Sage Smith tries to dribble it. That will be taken away by Hannah Richards, and then Hannah Richards throws it away to Huntington. Hornets get the ball back. A lot of back and forth action. Both teams are flying around the court. As Lauren Cook with a steal. Transition offense opportunity for the Eagles, and she'll be fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
One thing we're noticing right out of the gates in this matchup is that these Husson Eagles are taking away those open positions from the Hornets. We're not seeing a lot of open lanes. That's because of the great defense by these Eagles.
And I agree. I feels like a lot of what we've seen is some open opportunities for the Hornets, but Eagles closing out very well on transition defense and also getting in the way of lanes.
Also entering number 21.
As we see 21, McKaylin Porter enter the game for the Eagles. Also number 11, Trinity Montigny, the captain, graduate student from Ellsworth. As Lauren Cook gets the second free throw to go, as Mick Vicker will check into the game for her.
That's the one big thing about head coach Kissy Walker. McVicker and Montigny were starters in years past, but with the emergence of Hannah Richards and the play of Sage Evans, they showcased their leadership and their competitiveness by going onto the bench and taking a more reserved role to allow just to come off the bench and provide a much bigger spark for this Eagles team. The selflessness of the Eagles cannot be understated, as Montigny and McVicker have really taken the strides necessary to create a winning atmosphere.
As McKaylin Porter forces a turnover, passes it down to McVicker. McVicker out to Richards. One more pass, great pass. That three by Porter, no good. Offensive rebound by Lengel. Back to Porter, and she'll be fouled. Great job by Lengel to come down with that offensive rebound, create a second opportunity for the Eagles. They had an open look and got to the line.
If these Hornets don't box out early on, it's going to be a tough task for them to claw back into this game. Husson gets nearly 40 rebounds a game, and the Hornets only at 35. And what we see from these Eagles are a lot of offensive rebounds, mainly due to the height of Jordan Lengel. She's always in the post, always active with her hands.
A lot of height for this Eagles ball club, and also a lot of guard play. You look at that bench, and you look at the players on the court, a lot of guard depth for this Eagles ball club, a lot of guards that can get off the bench or start for this team, as we've seen a lot of different mixes and matches for the starting five this year for the Eagles. This will be a 10-second violation. That full court press a little too much for the Hornets. Another turnover. Their 8th.
As we discussed during pregame, the Eagles love the full court press and they love that trap. Kissy Walker has incorporated that into her bag of tricks, and since she's implemented it this year, it's been so successful for the Eagles.
So if you're Coach Borton over there on the Hornets bench, what are you drawing up in the timeouts to break this pressure?
You got to find a way to get the ball to Kiara Mack. She's one of your leading scorers for the year. You're going to force it down low. Of course, the defense has been very, very meticulous by the Eagles.
As we see right there, a double team on Jordan Lengel in the post. There'll be a jump ball. Possession goes to the Hornets.
One thing early on, we noticed the trap against Mack, and Mack stayed cool, calm, and collected and found an open Sage Smith for an easy layup. And it seems like anytime the Hornets are in that trap position, they start to freak out a little bit, not knowing what to do as Mack gets that layup there. But they just need to stay cool, calm, and collected in those traps.
That is the key factor. A lot of times teams trying to get out of traps, what they do is panic, and they don't know what to do with the ball, either hold on to it too long or make an errant pass. Because that's what we've seen a lot from Vermont State early in this game. And give credit to Husson's defense, too. Even when they're breaking the pressure, they're getting back on defense. They're flying around. Kissy Walker has her girls getting up and down the court. As Lengo can't get the layup to go, rebound by Huntington. She'll dribble up the court, use her speed to try to outrun the Eagles' defense as we see her go down with an injury. She looks to be shaken up. It looks like maybe her knee tweaked right there. As we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. As Ella Huntington gets up all right, she seems to be doing okay. She'll stay in the game. Looked like maybe she just tweaked her knee right there, going towards the basket. As play will resume, Jordan Lengel has the ball at the free throw line. She'll dribble to the left side, turn around. Her post shot no good. Offensive rebound by Porter. Right place at the right time. Back out to McVicker. Her three is good. Sophia McVicker, the second three for the Eagles. They've been playing great offensive and defensively.
Those offensive rebounds are killing these Hornets. Another second chance opportunity for the Eagles.
A lot of second opportunities for the Eagles. In the rebound category, Husson has a lot of offensive rebounds. That was their second in that possession. We've seen a lot of possessions, just second chance points that create open opportunities and result in Husson points. As Michaela Porter will take a shot right inside the three-point line. That'll be off the back rim and out. Great hustle by the Eagles, but it'll be off of Vermont State. The ref will say it will remain Eagle basketball.
Now this is going to be interesting now with Jordan Langle coming out. It's going to be Sage Evans with the matchup on Mack down low. So let's see how that plays out. Of course, Mack may have the post advantage on Evans, but Evans really does like to fly around the court. So we'll see what that does for both teams in both aspects.
Sage Evans, the freshman from Greenbush, Maine, went to Old Town High School, averaging 5 points a game, 4 rebounds. She has 8 steals and 6 blocks on the season as a forward. She's 5'11". Underclassmen who can really do it all, playing that forward position. We mentioned they have a lot of guards who can do it all. Having a forward who can do it all is very helpful for Kissy Walker. As we look at some of the team leaders for both squads, Sage Evans has 6 points. Lauren Cook Falls with 5, McVicker with 3. And looking at the Hornets squad, Huntington with 2, Sage Smith with 2, and Kiara Mack, the 3 key players for the Hornets, all with 2 points apiece. They have all 6 points for the Hornets. As now Husson leads 18-16 as Hornets break the trap again. Down to Sage Smith. She kicks it out. As we'll see DeSorda drive to the left side. As there will be a defensive violation or remain Hornet basketball.
There's a good cut by Whitcomb on the play. DeSorda trying to find her, cutting to the middle. Bounced off the leg of an Eagles defender. We'll stay here.
As you see right there, a risky pass down to the post, tipped away by Montigny. Again, it will remain Hornets basketball. Great defense by the Eagles, even in the half-court set. We've seen a lot of full-court press, a lot of half-court trap. But in the half-court, we've seen very good defense as well, really doing it all in all 3 phases of defense. And I think that's what allows Coach Walker to play so versatile on defense with her squad, is just full-court, half-court. Can really do it all as McVicker will draw a foul on DeSorda. 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Husson has a 12-point lead.
Now with Mack out of the game, it's going to be interesting to see what the game plan is for the Hornets. There's not enough offense with them only scoring 6 points in the first half so far. If they don't want to flinch, they just have to stick to their game plan.
As Logan mentioned, the Eagles winning the offensive rebounding battle, now onto their 5th offensive rebound compared to the 1 so far from the Hornets. Crashing the glass is going to be difficult when you have no bigs out there. As Logan mentioned, both these teams very guard heavy, love to fly around the court. So we'll see what happens here with both teams going with a rather small lineup in this game.
And the Eagles with 6 bench points already, and this one is here in the first quarter. They're getting a lot of bench depth, a lot of bench help. As we see Webster pass to Huntington. Huntington spin moves, Euro steps, kicks it back out. Badisher. As we'll see Webster throw up a 3. That'll go off the back rim, rebounded by McVicker. Pushes the pace. Dribbles to the right side, puts it up, and that layup is good. Great move by Sophia McVicker, changing gears to get to the lane.
McVicker able to fly by the defender for an easy scoop and score there.
Beautiful patience by McVicker just to use her body control. That one's poked away.
As we see Alyssa Harris poking it away, and then DeSorda will get called with getting a little too handsy after the turnover as Alyssa Harris comes off the bench and creates a turnover. Even just right there, guard dribbling at the top of the key. Alyssa Harris able to poke it away. We've seen a lot of Eagles getting in passing lanes, taking away passes, causing violations. We've seen them take the ball away from ball handlers. They're just looking to pick your pockets. What do you think Kissy Walker has her girls doing?
I'll tell you what, Logan, this defensive game plan by Kissy Walker has been an absolute gem so far. This full court press, the half court traps, it's making these Hornets make a lot of unseen or unheard of mistakes on their end. And they're playing scared almost. They're afraid to attack the basket. They're afraid to get past half court because of this dynamic defense by the Eagles.
As we've seen a lot of turnovers in different ways, and that turnover right there, illegal screen, offensive foul on the Hornets. all the momentum's on the Eagles' side so far early in this one with 40 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, 40 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Hornets already have 12 turnovers in this quarter. Got to give a lot of credit to Coach Walker and the Eagles' game plan coming into this game, as they, from the very get-go, have been pressuring the Hornets like there's no tomorrow.
As Michaela Porter will inbound it underneath the basket. She passes to Alyssa Harris. She'll drive to the left side. That crossover is so nice. It'll be tipped away. Regained by the Eagles. Sage Evans will put it up and in, and then she'll help her teammate Alyssa Harris up. Great way to redeem the basketball right there. Put up a shot. She gets the and one to go. Sage Evans.
And that's yet another offensive rebound by these Eagles, leading to another second chance opportunity.
Yeah, Harris just, or Evans, right place, right time. As Harris tried to go in, she was looking for the foul. Might have gone and whacked down though, nonetheless. Harris, perfect positioning for the rebound. Gets it up and in. There's a chance for one more.
That's her and one attempt. No good. Spoiled by the free throw as Huntington throws it to her head coach. Oh, excuse me, that one was tipped away. It kind of looked like the motion like she was thrown to him, but it must have been tipped away by Porter right there. Hornets basketball is that time. Huntington tries to inbound to Smith. That's stolen away by the Eagles. And Michaela Porter will put up a layup. Husson has scored 28 points in this first quarter in dominating fashion. Really impressive first quarter so far by the Eagles. As yet another turnover. Alyssa Harris back down to Porter. Back to Alyssa Harris. As we got a wedgie. We got a wedgie. We've seen it all in this first quarter. And I think wedgies result in a jump ball violation, basically.
I guess that's one way to take the wind out of your sails for the game. I mean, I'll just throw off any sort of rhythm you might have.
We saw a steal, a little back and forth give and go action. Great opportunity, great look. Spoiled by the wedgie. As we'll see the Hornets inbound the basketball with 5 seconds, see if they can get up past half court and put a shot up, but nope.
Oh, what a pass.
What a pass. Michaela Porter, as the Eagles score 30 in the first quarter, on pace for 120 points. Oh, excuse me. Bad math, excuse me. Anyway, we'll be right back for this second quarter matchup. Husson leads 30-6. Welcome back to Newman Gymnasium to start second quarter action. The Husson University Eagles lead Vermont State of Lyndon 30-6. Here starting the second quarter. Looking at some of the totals in that first quarter, Sage Evans leads the Eagles ball squad with 10 points, followed by Sophia McVicker off the bench with 7. Michaela Porter also off the bench with 6. It's a very dominant first quarter by the Eagles, and my math was correct. Husson is on pace to score 120 points in this game. If they can score 30 every quarter, that'd be quite impressive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're on track to win 120-24. I mean, that is just absolutely absurd.
As we see Vermont State get in the way of the passing lane as they create a turnover. Mack will have the ball, pump fakes a 3, back down to the post. As we see Webster, that ball will be blocked as Hannah Richards will take it up. Transition opportunity for the Eagles. So Layla Martinez will get the ball back out to Richards. Richards to Lango, give and go, back to Richards. She puts up a layup, and she'll be pushed underneath the basket. She will have 2 shots at the line. Hannah Richards, one of the best free throw shooters for the Eagles. Gets to the line a lot.
Yeah, despite the score, the Eagles still continuing to run around the court, get to their spots, and just have their way on offense. As Logan mentioned, Richards just a beautiful move to the paint, threw right up, chance for 2.
Early on, we're seeing the Vermont State Hornets make horrible passes, and I mean horrible. You don't expect these players to make these certain passes where there's a Husson Eagle player right in front of them, easy to tip the ball. It's very questionable, so we'll see what the game plan is heading into this second quarter to spark some energy for the Hornets.
And with 9 minutes left in this second quarter, we'll take a look at some of the eye-opening stats. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story as the Eagles leading the offensive rebound category 6-1. They're also shooting great from the floor. They're shooting 40% from the field, and they're 2 for 3 from deep. They're also 14 of 15 from the free throw stripe. That's a very good percentage. That's something Coach Kissy Walker's got to be very proud of.
I'll tell you what, Hornets out of the gate in the second quarter, their defense is a lot more improved. They're getting in the way of passing lanes, and on offense, they're finding open opportunities, just can't get anything to make so far.
As we see a miss by Vermont State, that mid-range jumper no good. Hannah Richards pushes the pace. She'll pull up and then pass down to Macy Beal. Nice feed. Macy Beals from Hannah Richards. She'll get the 2 points to go. 34-6. The Eagles lead the Hornets.
That's just basketball 1-0 run right there. Beals recognizing the wide open lane, cut right to the basket. Richards with a beautiful pocket pass, and the Eagles just having their way in this game.
As you see Webster dribble to the right side. And Seward comes in, gets the steal. Transition offense. Her layup is good. Another steal, another layup. Another dominating defensive possession by the Eagles. When do you think Coach Walker's going to back off of the full court press, or can you kind of expect the full court press to continue this whole game?
It's Coach Walker. She's going to continue it the entire game.
And it's been pretty impressive. We've seen a lot of girls basketball games by the Eagles so far this year, and there's been a lot of improvement. Earlier on in the year, not as great defensively in the full court press. Maybe that has to do with strength of schedule, maybe it doesn't. But we've seen in this matchup a much improved defense, a defense that's coming away with steals. Knowing that Vermont State struggles to handle the ball, I'm guaranteeing Kissy Walker was telling her girls, hey, look, we got to steal the ball. We got to get our hands in the pockets. We got to come up with steals, opportunities, fast break points.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that the Eagles really thrive after in the game is that for points off turnovers, they score about 19.2 points off turnovers per game. In the first half alone, they have 17 points off turnovers. That just goes to show that Coach Walker is not only the queen of adjustments, but is just the Eagles, as you said, Logan, really turning things around. And that has to do a lot with how Coach Walker has taken her approach to the season, feeling out different lineups and just really making the adjustments all around.
And it's been very impressive. You talk about using different lineups. How do you think a coach deals with so many players that can play the game? How do you deal with so many good players in minutes and being able to, balance that?
It really just depends on who fits well together. I mean, as we said, Trinity Montigny, Sabine McVicker in years past have been starters for the Eagles. But as we talked about the emergence of Richards.
As you see right there, Macy Beals getting a 3 to go. Just start coming right out of timeout. Oh, excuse me, Layla Martinez.
I believe that was Beals right there.
Oh, that was Beals, excuse me, with a 3 right there in the corner. We were talking about just balancing rotation with so many players on this Eagles squad that can play. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
not at all. I mean, Macy Beals with a phenomenal play. That's any good cause for interrupting. But, yeah, when you have so many talented players in a D team like the Eagles, it really just depends on who fits well together on the court. It's like finding the perfect pieces to the puzzle. Whoever fits well the best, you're going to find the best success. And the Eagles have really found their lineup with that lineup of Richards, Lengel, Cook in the starting lineup. And as we talked about with Montigny and McVicker, in years past they have been starting, but they've used their selflessness. There's another offensive rebound for 2. Their selflessness as players has really allowed for Coach Walker to be even more versatile with her lineups. And as a result, we're seeing the best of it right now in this game.
And it seems like there's a lot of chemistry on the court with any different types of mix and match Coach Walker has out on the court. As this squad, again, comes up with another turnover right there. Macy Beals getting in the pockets, back to Seward. Seward Pivots, passes out to Richards. She'll drive baseline, kicks out to Beal, steps back for a three. Good! Macy Beals with yet another three.
Beals with the soft touch early on. You could tell by the flick of the wrist, anytime she shoots, it's going in. Nothing but net.
Smooth like butter. 2 possessions for Macy Beals. And she's already gotten some nice looking shots from the corner.
Is the center Langle coming up with a steal.
Give it to her again. Heat check.
It's Seward with a three.
Oh!
It's good.
From Peyton Pritchard range, a lot of Seward just letting it fly and nothing but net once again. The Eagles are rolling.
That's a nice cut right there by Vermont State as we see Sage Smith with a good backdoor cut. Silences the crowd, but the Eagles lead by 37, 47-10 here with 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
These Eagles own a 3-9 record on the year, but they are not playing like a 3-9 team.
Great cut
They are playing.
by Macy Beals. Sorry, Xander.
No, you're good, Logan, but these Eagles are playing like they're undefeated. I mean, 49-10 is absurd. That's an absurd score.
Everything for the Eagles is clicking. They're shooting unconscious from three. They're shooting very well from the free throw stripe. They're all over the place on defense as we see Sage Smith off the backboard in their three-point attempt right there, rebounded and controlled by Hannah Richards. We'll see 4 new players come in for the Eagles. It looks like it will be Peach coming in, seeing her first minutes of the game once the substitution is made. As Macy Beals with a step back nitty. She putting her hands up like, where's this coming from? But we all know where it's coming from. We've seen it before. Macy Beals can really shoot the ball.
Talk about being in your bag. Macy Beals has checked in, and she is going off right now. 2 3-pointers and some 2 big baskets as well. She is playing, and she is on fire right now.
As we see Layla Martinez come up with a steal, the player that Sam Miller was talking about coming into this matchup, the player on defense who can come up with the most steals. We've seen a lot from her so far in this game, but it's really everyone on the court. Everyone's getting into passing lanes. Everyone's playing.
Everyone is
airtight
taking
defense.
cookies.
Exactly, taking cookies, taking lunch money. It's been a great defensive performance. We see Peach with a post touch.
Husson playing bully ball.
So we see a 3 by Sam Haber. That will be no good. The freshman from Bayport, New York. As Sage Smith dribble it up. A nice cut again by Sage Smith. They give it to her, and that layup is good. Sage Smith has done very good for Vermont State, cutting off the ball. So we've seen a lot of Vermont State's points just coming off of those backdoor cuts by Sage Smith.
And credit to Kerrigan DeSorda with the backdoor pass there. That was beautiful.
As Sage Smith has 4 points, but it could be like 8 or 10 points because we've seen a lot of missed opportunities with open cuts she's had. Seems like she's the player for Vermont State, has a high IQ as we see her square up a 3. That 3 off the front rim, rebounded by Layla Martinez, but Sage Smith for Vermont State, State, very high IQ, knows how to move off the ball and do things with the rock.
She's really been one of those bright spots for the Hornets, who have had kind of an up and down season as well. Like the Eagles, started out relatively slow, have found their mojo a little bit, but as of right now, the Eagles in just full control in the driver's seat.
So you see Sage Smith drive left off the baseline. That layup is good. Sage Smith with 6 points, or excuse me, 8 points now. She has 8 of the 14 points. As Husson leads 51-14 with 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm Logan Martin along with Sam Miller and Xander Cook. Exciting game. Husson's really put on a dominant performance. As you see another good cut, another layup. Bench players at this point in for the Eagles to close out the half. They've done very well.
And that now makes 34 bench points for the Eagles in this first half. That's absolutely incredible. The way that the Eagles have been playing on both sides of the floor have thrown the Hornets off guard, and it's been dominant in this first half.
And a lot of their points have come from those backdoor passes. They're getting behind their defenders, and the Hornets just can't seem to stop it.
As Haber throws up a 3. No good, rebounded by Vermont State. Madisher coming down with a rebound. Huntington will dribble up the court left side. She'll kick it back out to Fitty. And we see Smith back out to DeSorda. Her 3 is good.
Beautiful
Arrogant
shot right there
Disorda.
from Disorda. Just zero hesitation, lets it fly, and a nothing but net on that three.
Great shot there, and that's what I want to see more of from the Hornets. There's been a lot of women open in the corners, and they just don't seem to pass it to them for some odd reason. Luckily, there's a pass to Disorda, open in the corner, letting it fly, nothing but net. Want to see more of that.
As we see Peach with a skip pass to the corner three to Haber. Haber to Layla Martinez. Her three off the front rim, gets a good bounce and it's in. Layla Martinez, another Eagle to come up with a three-pointer. They're letting it fly from three-point range in the first half. Husson, we've seen this year either not taking the three-point opportunity or they're not really shooting great from the field. Over time this season, they've improved their three-point percentage, and in this one, they're almost unconscious.
It's just been a clinic by the Eagles. Offensively, defensively, name the stat, they're dominating right now. This is just a textbook game of basketball from the Eagles.
So we see Peach with a post touch. Her shot from the right block, no good. Offensive rebound controlled by Layla Martinez to Haber, wide open at the top of the key. Her three, short, as that will go out of bounds as the Hornets will have possession of the basketball with 24 seconds left in the second quarter. Eagles lead 55-19. Really haven't seen many fouls in this quarter. One by Vermont State, none by the Eagles. Pretty clean basketball. I think that it's credit to the amount of steals and turnovers we've seen. Just a lot of up and down the court action. Wide open looks, good cuts. A lot of good basketball played by the Eagles. And glimpses of it from Vermont State. As Vermont State does not get their opportunity to go to end the second quarter, and that'll be it for the first half. I'm Logan Martin alongside Sam Miller and Xander Cook. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back for second half matchup in Newman Gymnasium after this break. Welcome back to Newman Gymnasium, where we have a 55-19 ball game in favor of the Husson University Eagles. I'm Logan Martin alongside Sam Miller and Xander Cook. Boys, the second half getting underway here. There are a couple of things we can expect, some changes done by Vermont State in that locker room.
Boxing out. They have to box out because there has been way too many offensive rebounds by these Eagles that have led to second chance opportunities, and that's a huge part into why this is a 55-19 game.
Let's get up the intensity as well. I mean, Hornets came out a little bit. They came out a lot better in that second quarter. They played a lot faster, a lot more intense. And if they keep up that level of play, they could definitely make a dent into this lead. But if you're the Eagles, just keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing is exactly right. Husson forcing 16 turnovers. They had 16 steals in that game. They also shot very good from the three-point line, going 5 of 9. They shot very well from the free throw line, 14 of 15. Really doing it all in all phases of the game. We see Lauren Cook coming away with the 17th steal for the Eagles. Her layup is up and good. First 2 points for the half for the Eagles.
We're seeing the same consistency in terms of bad passing from the Hornets. Right there, just throwing it behind your back, not even knowing where your teammate is, just bad pass.
There's 24 turnovers now by the Hornets.
That wasn't a bad pass, though.
We've seen a lot of cuts. We mentioned in the first half, a lot of backdoor cuts, a lot of high IQ basketball. It's just you can't put shots up when you're turning the ball over. As you see Lily Roy seeing some action early in the second half. Out to Lauren Cook, down to Richards, post touch down to Sage Evans. Her mid-range shot, no good. No contest right there by Mack. Still no good. Sage Evans will get the ball back, though, off the offense rebound by Lengel. Put it up and in.
Interesting formation for the Hornets. They came out in a 2-3 zone. We saw that once they got the rebound, Mack had to go out of the paint and try to get in front of her, which led a wide open cut for Evans and another two-pointer for the Eagles.
As some leaders for the Hornets, Sage Smith with 8 points. She's 4 of 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from deep. A lot of Hornets in foul trouble. Not necessarily foul trouble, but a lot with 2 fouls. Kiara Mack with 2 fouls. DeSorda with 2 fouls. Fiddy with 2 fouls. As you look at the box score on the Eagles side, one stat that stands out, plus minus, that tallies how many points ahead or the margin of the scoreboard when a player is on the court compared to when they're off the court. And Jordan Lengel, the center for the Eagles, with a plus 27 influence in this basketball game. She leads the team in plus minus category. She might not be all over the scoring category scoreboard, but she's really making an impact on this game so far.
Yeah, her size and her length just allows her to open up the space for the Eagles. And as she gets the block on Mack once again, she really just eats up the stat sheet. Maybe not as much scoring wise, but she does those little things that really gets your team going. Those offensive rebounds, those good defensive stops. That presence in the paint alone is enough to just change the momentum of a game. So Jordan Lengel is really just having herself a fantastic year and a fantastic game.
Like you mentioned, Sam, it's the little things. She's doing a tremendous job in the postgame, that's offensively and defensively, getting those rebounds, getting those block shots, finding her open teammates, getting those layups to go. She's truly a tremendous player.
As we see right there, Hannah Richards with a transition opportunity, wide open lane to the basket. The Eagles lead by 40, 61-21 with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. See DeSorda put up a layup, open shot, no good. Rebound by Mack. She puts it up and in on the left block.
Beautiful patience from Mack off the offensive rebound. Read the defense, saw where the weak spot was, and counterattacked appropriately.
As we see Lauren Cook throw up a 3, that's no good. A little too strong. Rebound by the Hornets. A nice entry pass. Transition pass right there. Couldn't find a lane. This is Kira Mack. It's a post touch. She'll work to do something. Little post touch, spin move to the right, up and off the glass. Nice touch by Kira Mack. 2 straight scoring opportunities right there and 2 straight successful shots by Kira Mack. As we see Lily Roy get a 3 to go for the Eagles.
She was wide open for that 3, not a player within 8 feet of her. And if you're the Hornets, Lily Roy isn't someone you want to leave open from deep because she can nail that every time.
And I think that's what Coach Brennan Morton is upset about. Lily Roy, a really good three-point shooter. No one in the same area code, wide open for that three-point shot. Timeout by the Hornets. Only a 30-second timeout. What do you think Coach Morton's drawing up on that playboard?
Just trying to keep up the intensity and match it of the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles, once again, just continuing their just absolutely disgusting play on both sides of the floor. Just really finding those open spots in the middle and just trying to clean up those cuts to the basket. We saw the Eagles take a lot of points, tag a lot of points on the board in that first half by cutting to the middle, just cutting through the paint and laying it up and in. So if you're Coach Morton, you're going to want to clean that up.
And even though it is a 39-point game with over half of the action gone in the third quarter, you know, there's still meaningful minutes to be played. What are some of the things that coaches look to take advantage of in kind of garbage time when a team and the score is kind of lopsided?
Using their bench players, see what they can do, maybe spark up a little bit of energy to rejuvenate this team and plug in the starters back in if they go on a run.
As we see a shot opportunity up and no good by Vermont State. Richards' entry pass down to Sage Evans. She's wide open under the basket.
And like we mentioned earlier, it's that backdoor cut. There was literally nobody in the middle to plug that up.
As Vermont State has the ball in the half court. Huntington will pass. Sage Smith has the ball. She'll dribble to the right side of the basket. Tries to put one up, and there'll be a foul. Kind of a odd move right there, but she gets the foul to be drawn. Really, Husson really hasn't allowed any lanes to the basket as we see a five-woman substitution made by Coach Walker.
Yeah, Harris, Porter, McVicker, Montigny, and Beals all checking in once again. It looks like Coach Walker will be getting deep into the bench, as is the Hornets, as the rest of this game moves forward. But we should, real quick, I want to mention Macy Beals, who came in and just lit it up in her minutes. She was absolutely phenomenal. She was 5 of 6 from the field and 2 for 2 from three-point land, really just providing a lot of good minutes while she's out there. And she can do that. One of those scorers off the bench who, at the snap of fingers, can just turn it on at any given minute.
And Xander, how would you kind of describe the swagger that Macy Beals plays with? You see that step back, her cool, calm, collected demeanor when she has a shot opportunity. She plays with a lot of swagger. What would you have to say about that?
Oh, she plays with a lot of swagger. When she has that open shot, as there's Harris for three, when Beals has that open shot, you can bet money on it that she's going to take that open shot every single time. And you could tell by the flick of the wrist that shot will go in and hit nothing but net. When she's on fire, there's no stopping her, really.
She definitely has a heat check as a player, as we see a good effort right there by Vermont State. Webster to try to save the basketball. Be out of bounds. But it will remain Hornets basketball. Excuse me, she tries to attempt to save it, but it will remain Hornet basketball. See a lot of guards in for the Eagles. Alyssa Harris, who's listed as a guard. Excuse me. She's 5'7" though. She can really play all 5 positions, defend them too. You see Macy Beals try to find something. Nothing said for. Pass out to McVicker. Porter will control the ball. Skip pass to Beals. Nice pump fake to Montigny. Her mid-range shot in and out, no good. Rebounded by Michaela Porter. Shot up and no good. Good offensive rebound opportunity right there. Couldn't get the shot. You see Huntington with a transition opportunity for the Hornets. Looks to kick it out right there to Webster. But a Hornet gets in the way of that pass, deflects it, and goes out of bounds. It looked like they might have had an open three-point shot right there.
Oh, definitely. Chloe McIntyre just did not read the floor correctly, as another open pass in the paint.
As the Hornets defense caught sleeping again, Alyssa Harris just lobs it up from half court. Shot wide open under the basket. As the Eagles getting everything and anything. They have 71 points with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. You see Huntington try to put up a shot, in and out, can't get anything to go. That was a good opportunity right there.
Yeah, 30 points in the paint for the Eagles as well. They have just torn apart this Hornets offense and have just made it so difficult for them to make any sort of adjustments with how intense they've been playing all game.
As we'll see a jump ball violation right there. It will remain Eagle basketball. Fitty right there trying to steal the ball away. the freshman from Madison, Tennessee. See inbound pass to Macy Beals. That's tipped back to Beals. She passed to McVicker. Her three, in and out, no good. As Webster dribbles up the court for the Hornets. Tries to find Sage Smith down cutting. Looks like she had a skip pass to Huntington. It seems like Husson's kind of picking up on the fact that Sage Smith's the only player for the Hornets really cutting to the basket. It's kind of opening up these three-point opportunities. It's just not what the Hornets are looking for right now.
Yeah, they really haven't been able to find any sort of momentum on anything. They've had some good looks, just haven't been able to knock them down.
You see a good opportunity right there. Webster underneath the basket, couldn't get it to go. Montigny right there, though, will be out of bounds off her. Vermont State will have the basketball again with 3.5 minutes left. Husson leads 71-26.
And take note of Ella Huntington, the sophomore for the Hornets, number 11. Despite the score being as lopsided as it is, she's continuing to showcase leadership for her team as that one's sent back by Porter.
As like you mentioned, Huntington really all over the place in this game. She's played very well. Might not show up in the scoreboard in this one, but it seems like she's that one player for the Hornets that really controls the pace, controls the basketball for the team. You know, sometimes you can't play Superman, you know, in every single basketball game with the team you're playing on. In this case, you know, not a lot of scoring opportunities for this team, a lot of turnovers, but there are some glimpses of hope from these young players for the Hornets. As we see Sage Smith get a mid-range shot up and good for the Hornets. Yet another entry pass down to Michaela Porter, this time for the right block, contested, and she gets it to go. Even the ones that are contested are falling for the Eagles.
Michaela Porter walking with her banker on that shot, throws it right off the glass, gets it home, and the Eagles just continuing, Xander, their incredible play on the offensive side of the ball.
They are lighting it up from everywhere. It seems like these Hornets just don't have an answer for anything. No matter what they draw up, Kissy Walker and these Eagles can counteract that.
As we'll see, we'll have a 30-second timeout here on the court here at Newman Gymnasium. I'm Logan Martin, joined by Sam Miller, and Xander Cook. Lopsided basketball game in this one. You know, it's still been excited. There's still been some fun basketball we've watched today, mostly on this Husson Eagles side. What's the most impressive thing, if you can pinpoint one thing, one takeaway from this game, what has impressed you the most by the Eagles?
Transition defense. Their transition defense, setting up traps half court, has worked to perfection. And I don't use that word often, but it has been perfect today.
Yeah, I would go on the opposite side of the spectrum. Of course, everything's looking good for the Eagles, but if I had to really pinpoint it down, the fast break, the transition offense has been nothing short of phenomenal as well. I mean, 19 fast break points, and off of 17 steals, 29 points off turnovers, getting to their bread and butter strategy, just pushing the pace and just letting things play out.
As we see a miss right there by the Hornets. Transition opportunity by Alyssa Harris, as there will be a foul called. And if you look at the live stats right now, Sam, possession split dead even in the middle. Both teams with 55 possessions in this game. Yeah, every single other stat is pretty lopsided. We've mentioned it a lot in this game, but there have been eye-popping stats, especially with an Eagles ball club that hasn't really been shooting well from the field and from the three-point line. It's been a pretty up and down so far this season. Really haven't been or found consistently shooting the ball. What would you have to say about the way they're shooting the ball in this game today?
I mean, what's the closest thing to perfection without being perfect? I mean, they've just been, every aspect of the game today has been extremely solid. I mean, as we mentioned, 48% from the field, 46% from three. Really just a balanced game all around. They're knocking down their free throws, 93% for the game. Just everything is going their way. It's a quick bucket by Montigny.
And it's going Trinity Montigny's way, too, as she gets the midi to go. Her first 2 points of this ball game, as she is the one that will guard Mack down in the post. As pass to DeSorda, that'll be tipped away. Alyssa Harris getting in the way of that pass. It will remain Vermont State basketball. 76-28 with 2 minutes left in the second or third period.
A little unique game plan here for the Eagles. They have Montigny scoring up with Mack in the paint. We'll see how that goes. I mean, of course, Montigny, one of the most versatile defenders in the NAC.
And we see why she wanted Montigny guarding as we see McVicker pick Mack's pockets. You see Trini Montigny play defense right there. McVicker comes out of nowhere, takes the ball from Mack. Another transition opportunity for the Eagles. As a three this time. No good by Vermont State. McKaylin Porter, open three, passes it up, skips across the court. Pass down to Macy Beals. She shoots, passes down to Melissa Harris. Her three, no good. Rebound by Vermont State. No, Trinity Montigny out hustles and gets the offensive rebound. Another offensive rebound by the Eagles. Macy Beals from three. Short, her first miss from deep in this game. McVicker will try to save the ball. Out of bounds, Vermont State ball. As the rebound category, it has been dominated by the Eagles. It really doesn't tell the whole story. Husson only leading the rebound margin by 6, or has a rebound margin of +6. But a large part of that is all the steals they're getting. Vermont State's not even putting up shots for them to get a rebound.
Yeah, and right on cue, that was kind of Badishare just knocking it down from the corner. Mack with a beautiful pass out to the corner. And a great shot.
See Montigny with a post touch. Can't find a cutter. That ball skipped to McKaylin Porter. Her mid-range shot, no good. Offensive rebound by Montigny. And she'll be fouled and go to the line. And that's 3 straight possessions we've seen Trinity Montigny hustle all around the basketball court, get second and third chance opportunities for the Eagles.
Team third, Trinity Montigny, shooting 2.
As Montigny now has 7 rebounds in this game, 3 offensive. Those 3 offensive rebounds coming in these last few possessions. There is a 47-point differential on the scoreboard, but that does not mean these Eagles are going to stop playing. And if you're watching this game right now, there's another quarter to be played after this, but then the men's game kicks off at 6 p.m. tonight. Myself, Sam, and Xander will be on the call for that game as well. As we'll see the third quarter come to an end. The Husson University Eagles lead 79-31 against Vermont State Hornets. We'll be right back for fourth quarter action. Welcome back to Newman Gymnasium. We're kicking off the fourth quarter. Husson leads 79-31 against Vermont State of Lyndon. As the first shot of the fourth quarter, no good. Offensive rebound by the Hornets. Disorder will drive. Her layup, she'll get an and one. That floater's good off the backboard. And she'll go to the line for one more shot. 3-point opportunity, the first one for Vermont State today.
That's just good recognition by Disorder, realizing that the paint was wide open. The Eagles collapsing a little bit too late. She tacks on 2 for the Hornets.
as Hannah Richards will bring the ball up in the fourth quarter for the Eagles. Evans will have the ball. Pass out to Danielle Dow. Her 3 shot. No good. Ball go out of bounds. Vermont State basketball. Xander, if you're Coach Morton of Vermont State here in this fourth quarter, what are a couple things you're looking for your ball club to finish out with?
Finish out with some energy. Go on a little run to head into next game and build on that momentum.
You mentioned the momentum sometimes that a team can get at the end of one ball game to go into to another. What are some ways they can gain momentum in this game?
Well, they're sticking with their bench to start the fourth quarter, obviously. That's a thing for the coach, and he's basically saying, all right, get some minutes in. Let's see what you guys can do. I don't see us coming back from this.
As Alana Seward gets layup to go.
So we'll see what kind of energy this bench provides. And it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments are made in this fourth quarter. Obviously, there isn't a lot to be made because of the score deficit. But as long as they close out with some energy, some spark, that could be just enough to head into next game with.
As we see Webster pump fake a 3, drives to the left side of the basket, gets the foul call. She'll go to the line for 2 shots. As Riley Webster, the freshman guard from Upton, Mass., averaging 4 points a game, with career high in points, 10 against Elms. She's provided a little bit of a spark for this Hornets ball club. She's came into this game, drove to the hoop a couple times, found lanes, getting to the line for the first time today.
The Hornets have had some good shot opportunities, but just can't buy a bucket in this matchup.
Aubrey Kanakovich checking right into the game and immediately making an impact. Just takes it right inside and throws it off the glass for 2.
As you see a loose ball, Webster getting on the ground to get the basketball. Covered by Vermont State. As you see a crossover drive by Smith. Tip, but Huntington regains it. And then stolen away by the Eagles. Danielle Dow pushes the pace to Alana Seward. Down to Hannah Richards. It'll be a foul call. She'll go to the line for 2. A big collision underneath the basket.
Yikes, that was scary.
Yeah, she went head first into the door.
And we'll be right back after they check on Hannah Richards. As welcome back, they checked on Hannah Richards. She's okay to play after that collision underneath the basket. She hits her first free throw. Pretty impressive to, drive to the lane, drive to the hoop, get fouled, get to the line, kind of slam your face off the doors, and then make both your free throws. That's pretty impressive, to say the least.
I mean, Richards is as tough and as great of an athlete as they come in the women's side of the NAC. She can really just do it all on the court. A great passer, a lockdown defender, can light you up from anywhere with her scoring, of course. Averaging around 8.2 points per game, shoots around 33% and 31% from the field and from 3. Really has become one of the catalysts for this Eagles offense. And, of course, as we mentioned, her scrappiness and her competitiveness is pretty much second to none here in the North Atlantic Conference on the side of the women.
Let's go see a 3 right there by the Eagles, as they have 88 points now with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Piggybacking on what Sam said, this whole Eagles lineup is tough as nails. They fight for each other, they play for each other. None of them want to be taken out of the game. And if there's like an injury for one of them, sorry, I couldn't get that out of my mouth. But if there's an injury for one of them, they don't want to be taken out of the game. They want to play through it, and that just goes to show the kind of mental toughness of these Eagles.
And just real quick, that's also just the mindset that Coach Walker has for this Eagles team. I mean, things are going to happen in basketball. You're going to go down with injuries. There's always going to be some sort of mishap happening on and off the court, but it depends on how you bounce back. And, of course, when we saw from Richard, she bounces back, and when she bounces back in a big way. A lot of credit to Coach Walker for continuously over the years just being able to adjust and keep her team as spry and competitive as ever.
As Hannah Richards' three, a little too long, no good offensive rebound by the Eagles. I can say she stepped on the baseline. That'll be out of bounds, Vermont State basketball.
Offensive rebound number 15, by the way, for the Eagles. Puts them at 38 on the game, out rebounding the Hornets by 11 throughout this game. They have just dominated the glass.
The Eagles also shooting, we mentioned they're 14 of 15 early on in the second quarter in this game. They're shooting 85% today, and they've been to the stripe quite a bit. That's a pretty positive side for Coach Walker, especially when they play more meaningful games where it gets close down the stretch and they need free throws to pull away for a win. As Sewer will try a three. Alana Sewer will get the three to go. Alana Sewer for three. She has 10 points now off the bench. She's feeling it.
That's twice now where she's just got the ball at the top of the key and just let it fly with zero hesitation.
These Husson Eagles are shooting 22% from downtown this season, and in this matchup, it is over 40, almost 45% from beyond the arc. It's definitely a turning point for the Eagles, and it's going to be interesting if they can carry that on throughout the rest of the season, because if they can light it up from deep early on, there's no stopping this team.
And Kanakovich, real quick, just checked into the game and already has 7 points for the Eagles. It just goes to show that from the bottom to the top of the bench, everybody's fresh, everybody's spry, and everybody is in their bag today.
You see a great tip rebound by Alana Seward right there. Eagles with transition offense, and there will be a foul called. As Koknovich will go to the line for 2 shots. There will be a 4-woman substitution for the Eagles. Layla Martinez will stay by the scorer's table, waiting to check in for Koknovich. As Koknovich, the freshman guard from Maine, went to Spruce Mountain High School. 9 games played. This is her 10th. She's provided a little bit of a spark from this Eagles bench.
One thing I'm curious about with this Hornets team is that, of course, coming into an opposing gymnasium and losing like this is never good for any sort of morale. But if there's anything to say about Lyndon is that they are resilient. They will always find ways to come back and improve on their performances. Coach Morton for the Hornets is always really good at adjusting and making sure that his team is fit and ready to go for their next few outings. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Hornets will want to work on if they're coming off a loss like this.
As we see Sage Smith try to make an inbounds pass. That'll be stolen away by Macy Beals. She'll make a pass down to Layla Martinez. Back to Beals. Her layup no good. Rebound by Vermont State. As Webster will dribble it up the court for Vermont State. Passes to Smith. She has a wide open three. Her shot no good. Rebounded by Peach for the Eagles. Layla Martinez will dribble up the court. As we'll look at team leaders, it's pretty much stayed the same from halftime. Sage Evans leads the Eagles in scoring with 14 points. The freshman from Greenbush, Maine, Michaelin Porter, coming off the bench with 12. Macy Beals also has 12 points. She's provided another bench spark, shooting from mid-range and the three-point line. And then for Vermont State, Sage Smith, 13 points. Ella Huntington, 8. Kiara Mack with 6. There's 4 minutes to play. Husson leads 94-36. Offensive rebound by Vermont State. Sage Smith passes to Huntington. Triple threat position. Looks to find something. Dribbles left, poked away by the Eagles. Remains Hornets basketball.
That's just how the game has kind of been playing today, Xander. I mean, just a lot of quick hands by the Eagles, just not letting the Hornets settle into any sort of rhythm, and it's shown today.
There's been a lot of errant mistakes on the Hornets' end, and that's due to the full court press by the Eagles. We haven't seen the Hornets remain cool, calm, and collected like I mentioned earlier, and due to that, there's been a lot of bad passes.
We see Sage Smith get a 3 to go for Vermont State. She now has 16 points. She's been impressive in this one. Sage Smith averaging 17 points a game, 6 rebounds per game. She has a career high 29 points versus NVU Johnson. She's having another good performance. She has almost met her season average with 16 points in this game as she gets another one to go right there. Now she has 18 and passes her season average.
Yeah, Smith really just once again showcasing her skill as Montaigne finishes with the contact. But as Xander mentioned, I mean, it also really, it doesn't help that when you're the Hornets, you started out playing the game very tense, you're playing very quickly. It seemed like you were sharp, but then the Eagles just blew the lead wide open from it seemed like around the 7-minute mark is when they just started going on that run.
Yeah, the Eagles went on around a 20-0, 22-0 run that just opened the floodgates for these Eagles, and the Hornets couldn't get any offense going. Their defense was sloppy, and it was that run that really doomed them in this matchup.
So we take a look at the stats for this matchup. We mentioned them a lot throughout the broadcast. 64 bench points for the Eagles in this game. What does that number mean to you guys?
It just means a few things. The Eagles are a good basketball team, and they know how to score off the bench. I mean, we've talked about how deep the Eagles bench is throughout the entire season. I mean, they have one of the deepest benches in the entire North Atlantic Conference, and once again, you got to give it up to Coach Walker for being able to just slide players into positions that just utilize those different lineups that she's just willing to work with. She's willing to take a bit of a gamble, but of course, Coach Walker being Coach Walker, it always seems to pay off.
And Coach Walker might have the easiest and hardest job in the world. She has the easiest in a way that everyone can score for her team, and the hardest job because how do you balance minutes? Only 5 of them can be on the court at one time. But she has found a way to make it work day in and day out. And over the course of the season, we've seen a drastic improvement by this Eagles basketball team.
It makes it exceptionally harder as well when everybody on your team can play just as good defense as they can offense too. Of course, the Eagles offensively today had been smoldering hot, but the defense has been just as good, if not better in some regards. We talked about how in this game, 21 steals, 38 points off of turnovers, and the biggest number of the game. We talked about the Hornets and their ability to not take care of the ball. They average around 21 turnovers per game. In this game, they have 30. The Eagles' defense has made this game a nightmare for the Hornets. And if this is the kind of play we're going to see for the rest of the season heading into the playoffs, then this Eagles team is going to be one to watch out for.
Definitely a team to watch out for with the depth and experience they have on this team as Peach gets the basket to go. We still looking at these stats. The Hornets led at one point in this game, their only lead coming when they led 2-0 with 9 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter. And since then, the Eagles have held the lead for this entire game. It's been quite impressive.
Yeah, Xander and I called a game not too long ago before Christmas break between the Eagles and the Bengals of UMaine Fort Kent, and this is a very similar tale to what we saw, where the Eagles just came out, and from the very moment of the opening tip-off, the Eagles have just run away with everything.
Yeah, it was definitely similar. They started off with the full court press last time we called a game together, and the only difference is they are cashing it in from beyond the arc tonight. It's by far the best performance they've had all year, because that was the one thing they were missing offensively, was their three-point shots not going in. But tonight it has. So it's going to be very interesting to see if that can continue throughout this season. They will improve to a 4-9 record, so maybe this can spark some huge energy coming down the finish line.
As the Eagles, 44 points in the paint. The other 54 coming from outside the paint, obviously, whether it's the free throw line, mid-range, or the three-point shot. And that's been pretty impressive, too. We saw last year a lot of Bailey Donovan just scoring underneath the basket and then kicking out when the double team approaches. And this new this new Eagles ball club, they kind of got to rely on shooting outside of the paint, especially with the lack of height they have.
It's not even maybe a factor of the amount of height that they might not have, because of course they have Lingle, they have Peach holding it down in the paint, which is plenty of height as it is. But of course that's just the way basketball is going now. I mean, basketball is now at a point where 3-pointers are essentially the most important part of the game outside of playing good defense. Basically, if you're not making your threes, you're not winning games. That's just the way basketball has just kind of evolved nowadays. As Haber will line it up. But yeah, no, basically 3-pointers have become such a staple of the game that, like I said, if you're not hitting more than the opponent, then more often than not, you're not winning a basketball game. So the Eagles have done a fantastic job of adjusting to that kind of play style, and as we see, it has not bothered them in the slightest.
And just speaking on three-point percentage and both teams shooting from the three-point line, Husson's three-point percentage went down. At one point, it was just under 50%. It finishes at 37.5%. They were 9 for 24, shooting very well from three, despite losing quite a bit of that percentage over the course of the game. And then on the other side, Vermont State 3 for 20 from the three-point line, 15%. Pretty black and white in that score area.
The Eagles now cracking triple digits actually in this game. The math didn't math out the way we wanted it to early in the game when we talked about it. It's another turnover for the Hornets. But nonetheless, as the clock continues to tick, a very dominant display by the Eagles as Haber gets the and one.
As Haber gets an and one with 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Husson leads 102-44. Very impressive performance by the Eagles, as Haber will send this one off with a made free throw for the Eagles. Vermont State will dribble across half court. The time ticks down, 13 seconds left. Pass down to Smith. She dribbles it back out. Then the pass up top to Badisher. Her three was no good. Rebound by Haber, and the Eagles will win this game 103-44. I'm Logan Martin, joined with Sam Miller and Xander Cook. Stay tuned for the men's matchup shortly after this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. We wish you a safe, happy night. So long.